Hello everyone, this is Andrew Fish. The origins and scientific history of depression from the Middle Ages to the earlier 20th century. Since ancient times, humans have discovered and mentioned depression. In the era of Hippocrates, melancholy had already been clearly defined and explained. During ancient Greece, although many people believed that mental illness like melancholy was related to deities, thanks to the effort of Hippocrates and Galen, treatment methods such as exercise, diet, bathing, and music, which could have positive effects, were applied to patients. These methods continued for centuries. However, after Hippocrates and Galen, Western medicine stagnated for a long time and even regressed. Only a few physicians actively sought effective treatments. Following the fall of Western Roman Empire in 476 AD and up to the fall of Eastern Roman Empire in 1453 AD, Europe entered a 1,000-year-long dark Middle Ages. During this millennium dominated by Christianity, independent thought was suppressed, and technological development was limited. The theory that depression was caused by spirits and deities persisted. The concept of God here simply changed from the ancient Greek gods to the Christian God. In this era, depression was interpreted as a sign of having sinned against God. Patients were seen as guilty and in need of repentance. Severe cases were believed to be caused by demonic possession. Various exorcisms were performed, sometimes even without the patient's consent. Some were imprisoned, subjected to be forced labor, or isolated as a form of treatment. Few physicians dared to challenge this religion's authority or actively sought effective therapies. One exception was Rhazes, a famous patient physician during the Middle Ages. He was one of those few physicians who made significant contributions to Western medicine after Galen. Rhazes was a doctor, philosopher, alchemist during the Islamic Golden Age. He wrote on logical astronomy and grammar, and was the first to distinguish between smallpox and measles clinically, proposing rational treatment for smallpox. He was also the first to recognize that pupils respond to light. Rhazes believed that mental illness was caused by the brain and advocated treatments for depression such as bathing and rewarding proper behavior. The Dark Ages continued for 1,000 years. Stagnant medicine did not have the opportunity to develop again until the Renaissance began in Italy. Some physicians began to reassess mental illness. In 1621, British writer Robert Bolton published The Anatomy of Melancholy, providing a detailed discussion on the causes, symptoms, and treatments of depression, as well as deeper, more complex insights. Although the book starts from the topic of depression, Bolton practically incorporated all available knowledge from 17th century libraries, covering a scope far beyond medicine, making it something of an encyclopedia of its time. It influenced many figures, including Samuel Johnson and Benjamin Franklin. The book pointed to causes such as personality, psychology, and social facts such as poverty, hunger, fear, and loneliness as contributing to depression. It also suggested treatments like physical exercise and proper diet. During the Age of Enlightenment and with the development of industry, perceptions of depression began to change. The 18th century invention of steam engine led to mechanical analogies about how the body and the mind work. Some believe that depression was caused by malfunctions in human machines, such as the hydraulic system, fiber elasticity problems, or nervous disorders. The idea that depression could be inherited also emerged during this time. George Chen, an 18th century British physician, suggested that mental illnesses like depression often afflicted intelligent rather than dull individuals. He believed depression was a result of increasing comfort and luxury brought by industrialization. To counter what he considered as decadent and disgusting influence, he advocated vegetarianism, exercise, and manual labor. Ironically, Rowe himself enjoyed eating meat, but he still advised patients to stick to a vegetarian diet. In the 1780s, British writer Samuel Johnson was the first to describe depression as a black dog, a metaphor he used for his own condition. This term became widely known thanks to Winston Churchill, who used it repeatedly to describe his own struggles with depression, turning black dog into a popular synonym for this illness. In the US, Benjamin Franklin, one of the founding fathers, became fascinated with electricity after his famous cat experiment in 1752. He explored electrotherapy, including electrical baths, laying groundwork for modern electrical convulsive therapy for depression. From the Renaissance through the Enlightenment, although there were no revolutionary breakthroughs in the understanding and treatment of depression, some of the ancient Greek methods were revived. Still, for Europeans who had endured 1,000 years of darkness, these developments were crucial, inspiring people to think anew and adopt scientific attitudes toward depression and mental illness. From that point forward, the exploration never stopped. In the 19th century, driven by the Industrial Revolution, alchemy evolved into modern chemistry. In 1879, Wilhelm Wundt established the world's first psychology lab at the University of Leipzig, marking the birth of scientific psychology. While at Leipzig in 1877, Wundt met Emil Kripke, who became his student. Kripke devoted his life to psychiatry and published the first edition of Compendium and Psychiatry for the use of students and physicians. In 1883, he later expanded it into a multi-volume series titled A Textbook Foundations of Psychiatry and Neuroscience, which for the first time differentiated between manic depressive illness and schizophrenia. This book had a major impact on psychiatric classification systems, influencing the creation of diagnostic and statistical manual of mental disorders and international classification of diseases. Kripke also worked with his colleagues Alois Alzheimer, with whom he co-discovered Alzheimer's disease. Kripke is regarded as the founder of modern psychiatry, psychopharmacology, and psychiatric genetics. At the end of the 9th century and into the early 20th century, Sigmund Freud, another physician and psychiatrist, founded psychoanalysis. From that point onward, psychiatry and psychology began to advance in a more scientific direction.